Hey there. So what I'll attempt to do in this video is to run through the first week of activities on the ALX ACE program. Already you should know that getting into your ALX portal is just like I'd done in the previous video. You simply just type in member.droom.com and it prompts you to log in and so on and so forth. You can watch the previous video should in case you need help doing that. For me, I have two courses running. I'd had this course running before now. The course we are concerned about is the ALX ACE AI Career Essentials. So I'll just go ahead and click on that um, link, external link, and that opens my Savannah. During my time in the previous course, it was called Intranet, but that name has been changed now. So this is Savannah. And on Savannah is where you get all of the projects for every week. And of course, on this portal, on the member.droom website is where you have access to your community. In my experience, I would also advise that you download the Circle app. That's available on the Android Play Store and of course on the iOS Store. Um, in my experience again, I could um, quickly access the community, get up to date information, so you may find it useful. I've explained all of this in the previous video, so you may want to go check the previous video. Let's just focus on the project for week one. Right, so week one was filled with a lot of documents to read, lots of videos to also go through, and we'll just take them one after the other. Now, for some reason, when you do click the project page, it doesn't arrange all of this information. It doesn't arrange them in an orderly fashion or in an orderly manner. So for me, what I do is what I did for week one was just to go ahead and look at it. So you see that module that says welcome to week one. Because of that word welcome, I would believe that would be the first module. So you see, right? That's the first module right there. And of course, there is the Demystifying AI Part One, Demystifying AI Part Two, Three, community and peer engagement, and the likes. So, um, I would just do a rundown of each of these projects, do a summary of each of these projects, and then I'll go to the um, quiz that usually wraps up majority of this project. And of course, in the end, I would also explain how to go about your milestone and every other thing that you need to submit or to get done. Of course, week introduction, welcome projects welcomes you to ALX, and here Mr. Damfair tried his best to give us an upfront as to what to expect. Right, he talked about the peer review, the learning focus for the week, activities for the week, milestones and deadline, just about everything that you know that you would need to get you up and running. Um, this particular end of module quiz doesn't ask for much. Just ask just ask to be sure if you've watched and you've read all documents. So you can just go ahead and click on yes and click on um, submit your answers. It'll go ahead and mark. For some reason, I love to also still tick this box. I think it's good practice to tick this box. I've not seen the downside of it yet, but I know it's advisable to just tick the box to show that you're done. And then we move to Demystifying AI Part One. And this entire module just simply explains to you upfront what AI is and the methods that AI uh, uses to learn how AI is built. And it gives a few examples under this module. It gives a few examples of um, AI in action, right? How we use AI in today's world. So this example talks about self-driving cars, and this talks about its application in healthcare and of course in education. The AI grocery um, document simply just gives you some words, some terminologies that you should be familiar with. Um, Supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, they are terms, bias in AI, they are terms that would keep, coming back. And I would advise that you take time to look at those words, what they mean. Um, Neural network, deep learning, natural language processing, data mining are also things that you may want to spare time um, to also look through. But these are perhaps very important for this journey. Of course, that particular um, part concludes with a short quiz. I'll just go ahead and click on the show quiz, and here we're quizzed on some of the things we've learned so far. Computer vision is how you know um, AI systems or computer systems interprets visual information. Um, the AI cars that we have today, they use the LiDAR and the radar alongside GPS and camera to tell their position and to help you drive safely and all of that. Duolingo, ThinkStar, Math, Babel language app are all examples of AI apps that create personalized learning. Figma doesn't create personalized learning. Figma does wireframing, prototyping, and all of those other stuff. And so those questions they come up, right? And hence the reason why I said you may want to look out for the meaning of those words. And of course, there's a brief history of AI, and so this doesn't ask us for much, just runs through the history of AI, and you can find all of that document in the previous post here. Um, and under this, it talks about the first chatbot ever created. It was quite an exciting read. It's just one document that explains all of these things. This particular question I had to do a Google search on because I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm the movie kind of person, so I had no idea. I just had to do. Turns out that the answer was a Space Odyssey. John McCarthy is the father of artificial intelligence. Um, and then the Deep Blue program was that program, AI program that defeated Kasparov, and that sort of was the rundown of the history of AI and all of that. And then of course there's the myth busters, right? Myth busters just demystify common AI myth. That's what that entire module is about. Just common AI myth, and it goes ahead to demystify them. AI can learn and improve over time, right? AI doesn't understand emotions like humans. It doesn't understand emotions like humans, right? It is not too complex, right? Just about anyone. I know that in today's world, even schools are beginning to teach AI to kids, so anyone can learn AI. I know that there's still a lot of bias and privacy concerns and all of that, but it's just the 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 foundation is that AI can be understood and easily accessed. Um, AI does make biased and unfair decisions sometimes, and that's based on what kind of data the AI model was trained from. And so you find the answers to all of this, what's the name, this particular Mythbuster quiz on the previous section. You may want to do a read up if it helps. So let's go to Demystifying AI Part Two. At some point, I felt this Part One, Part Two, and all of these other things were redundant, but you will find that the information there were quite useful, and you will need them while filling out some of the end of assessment, end of week tests and milestones and submissions that are due. So the impact of AI, all of these videos, you may want to consider watching them. They are quite useful. This particular video really talks about some of the issues with AI. It was quite maybe one of the best or most informative amongst all of the videos I was shared this week. The other was the chats. There was an interview done with Bill Gates where he also gave his own opinion. But please do watch this, and I trust that it'll be quite exciting for you. And so the limitations of AI talks about AI's limitation in terms of emotional intelligence, creativity, and all of that. AI is also heavily dependent on data. If the data quality is messed up, then expect bias um, um, results from that AI system. Contextual understanding, ethical, and privacy concern are some of the limitations of AI. What AI can do um, is that other video I just mentioned where Bill Gates shares his expert opinion on how he views AI, the possibilities that AI can bring to our world. He talked about healthcare, he talked about education, and talked about healthcare providers. Um, and so that forms the basis for AI capabilities, um, what they can do, processing data at large scale, pattern recognition, um, and that list goes on, automating repetitive tasks, and that's what that end of um, module quiz focuses a whole lot on, right? So what are some of the limitations of AI? Why can't AI replace all humans? AI lacks creativity, lacks empathy, and complex decision making skills, right? AI just has a goal, has an objective, do all things to get to that objective. And sometimes life doesn't exactly work that way at all. Just like I just said, so AI are built on fixed objectives, and those videos in this particular module of week one, they do justice to explaining all of this. How can AI help solve global inequality, right? Through farming advice, educational tutoring, patient assistance, and healthcare worker support. Those points are explained very well um, by Bill Gates. What type of AI application raises the biggest concern about privacy and consent? Facial recognition system, of course. And I think this was the most lengthy um, of all quiz from week one, right? The only other quiz that was a bit lengthier than this, with about 21 or 22 questions, was the end of week test, right? The weekly test, right? I had about 21 or 24 questions thereabout, and that summarizes Demystifying AI Part Two. So Part Three, right, gives case studies, right, delves in a particular case study and helps you see how AI comes into the scene and how AI has brought a lot of innovation to those industries, right, in healthcare, for example, in finance, for detection, and here if you read those, you get a feel of how AI is being used like presently in today's world, and how it is shaping our future. A lot of things that you may not know are powered by AI are actually powered by AI. Personalized customer experience, for example, you wonder why I mean, you go to Jumia today, you search a few things, and then you go to Instagram or Facebook, you see those things or suggestions pop up. Like those are all our, personalized customer experience from these e-commerce stores, um, uh, shape us and shape our or inform our decision making process. So this is the first, uh, I would say, major activity, which is the Runway ML. And this activity is not too difficult. All you have to do is just click on the Runway ML link, hyperlink here, external hyperlink here, and it does open a new page where you are asked to try the free, use the trial version, right? The trial version gives you a number of points that you can use each time you generate an AI picture or image. To just keep taking 1 point for every image generated. You have about 100 and something points, so you have quite a uh, uh, you have quite a cushion there where you can try out and experiment. So if you do click on try Runway for free, um, in my experience, even though this this document says that you can use a trial version, you don't need all of those logins. At some point, you may be prompted to at least enter your email, right? Your email address. Just go ahead and follow all of those prompts. Click on try for free, um, and then just enter in your email, and then it should. Now it's taking me in because I'm already signed I signed up and I'm signed in automatically into my account, and that's why it's open. So, but for you, the only two steps you have to take is to click on that, try for free, and then enter in your email, and it should um, sign you in without any issues. Please go ahead and comment if you do find, if you have any issues, still have any issues doing that. And of course, you can follow all of the instructions here. They're not too helpful. Well, yeah, a lot of effort, but the website changes. As you know, I can tell that this is an older image. Okay, so one of the issues I had here was finding the text to speech, right? It wasn't as straightforward as you would imagine. So, but to find that text to speech, just come to images. Remember that it's an image you want to generate, so you may want to come to generate image, right? And Runway ML also does video and all of those things. This is your first, and I think you should pay attention to this and how it works, because you would need it when you are filling your AI toolkit. So now that I've come to generate images, I can generate images from text. I can generate image from image. You can train your own generator, infinite image variations, and so on and so forth. So you want to click on text to image, just like it's specified here, text to image feature, right? Another thing you want to do is to choose your aspect ratio, resolution, and style, right? The ACE program did not specify this, so you just be free to play around with the aspect ratio that you want for the final image. Um, you can go ahead and play around with the advanced prompt weight and all of that. But for this particular task, you may not even need to use the advanced section. Just choose your aspect ratio. For me, I did the mobile vertical. Um, and I did that with the intention of course, using my circle app on my phone. I could easily uh, get access or review. And resolution, you're limited to 720 p for now. And the style, there's a whole bunch of style you may want to choose from, so you may want to think about what image you want to generate. I've tried out sci-fi, which is quite interesting. Also, I've tried out cinematic, and then I used thriller, right? So please feel free to choose from these styles, these fields, uh, for your image generator. So for example, if you are using the sci-fi art, don't expect real images like this, for example, or like this, or like the fox, right? What you get are sci-fi, right? They are a bit abstract, I would say. um, maybe even not as expressive as this. So it depends on your taste. Just be free to play around. And number of output just tells you when you enter in your prompt, how many pictures or how many variations do you want to generate. If you click on 4, and you enter in your prompt, the moment you click on generate, it will generate 4 variations of from that prompt that you've given, and you can go ahead to either download all of them or pick the best that you want. Just take note that 4 prompt will automatically deduct 4 points from what's left. So you may want to have that at the back of your mind. um, and then of course when you're done, when you click on generate, so for example, I'm trying not to generate, so okay, so this is the prompt that generated this, right? I'm trying not to generate so that I don't lose more points. What's the fun in that? Let me just make a little adjustment to this. An ancient towering perched, no, so let's do, so I just want to make a little edit to this. A rugged cliff with wave crashing. So I'll just go ahead and click on one. Cinematic, maybe for the purpose of this, I'll just click on, I'll just use this to try out 3D cartoon. Let's see what this comes up with. Okay, so this um, is what it comes up with. Now, please make sure to save your prompt, right? Please save your prompt. You can just copy it, paste it on a notepad somewhere, and also download and save your image, right? Those are the two things that you shouldn't forget to do at this point, right? There are also prompts that encourages you to share that image on your in your community. That's your squad on the portal, right? So please go ahead and share them, and share your prompt also. That you are encouraged to do that. You are saving the prompt and the image because you would need it for your milestone submission. So please make sure you keep them safe. Community and peer engagement, module 1.5, gives you talks about the importance of community, the ALX, um, the portal, how to use the portal, accessing the city hub. And now all of these shouldn't be too daunting if you followed from week 0, right? A lot of these things has been shared: where to find the city hub, how to use, what you should do there, collaborate as teams, and all of those. Note also not to miss the live events. Don't miss the live events. Announcements, as it talks about the announcement page, announcement channels on your portal, communicating with peers. These are not which of the following is not allowed in the ALX community. So this is a pretty straightforward module. Code of conduct also is where you also, I think, you may want to pay attention to this, right? It talks about the chair values are perhaps the most important of all of the things covered here, right? Chair is very important. Another thing you want to look at is offense type, right? There's the misuse, there's the mild, and then there's the severe offense, right? And all of these are explained. And then lastly, the consequences when you breach some of the ethics or code of conduct, right? The consequences when you breach some of this code of conduct. So soft warning for mild offenses, Then if it's the second mild offense you're committing, you're going to get an official warning, and then the third mild offense and all of that. So this, of course, when it's a severe offense, you get a temporary ban and a mini course, right? And if you have that, if you have a severe offense or mild offense, um, that's one severe offense and or a mild offense, you could get expelled or completely banned from the ALX program, both present and future programs. And this part was quite tricky. So you may want to pay attention to that part, this part of so what are the what kind of offense gets you, does ALX consider as severe? What kind of offense does what kind of response does ALX take to severe, to misuse, to mild offenses, right? So the temporal ban, what do you receive a warning, and all of that. And those were the intricate parts, in my opinion, for this particular code of conduct module. So chair, the CHAIR, and of course the code of conduct are perhaps where you want to take when you want to take a cue from that model. Self-improvement, right? This talks about the number of this talks about the three things. There is the that we believe that in the ACE program or in the ALX community, that we believe can help you improve yourself, right? There's the morning pages. It's a good habit, and you're required to write three pages. So this is it: morning pages, mindfulness meditation, and movement. Mindfulness meditation talks about your self-awareness. Movement just simply talks about exercising, or always take time to move. Don't just be in one position, right? It could be morning, it could be evening, it could even be during the work hours, and all of that. And of course, your mindfulness and meditation talks about relaxing your body, focusing your attention, to get a greater awareness of yourself, right? Um, and that's really all about that particular module. So the purpose of mindfulness is to become more self-aware. Of course, the more self-aware you are, the better you would be. You'll be deliberate about whatever progress it is that you want to make. So we move on to emotional intelligence, which is also another tricky part of this particular week. And tricky because I did find out that several people had some issues viewing um, some images. I think it was a general issue because it happened to more than one, right? So this image particular is not viewable. But what the solution to this is, if you do Google the Goldman Emotional Intelligence Domains and Competencies, you're going to find, and you go, of course, click on the image tab on Google using Google search. You find lots and lots and lots of images that depict this particular what's the name. So feel free to just look through and choose which helps you best. But they would all refer to the same thing. So it talks about um, your awareness of your emotions, how you interact with others, and there's a social relationships and all of that. So, but all of this makes more sense when you do that search and maybe do a quick read. But all this helps you just emotional intelligence helps you make better decision by understanding yourself, understanding your emotions. I did not know, for one, that emotions also affect your decisions, right? So at every point in time, you must or you should strive to have clear emotions before making very important decisions, right? It helps you even see yourself better. There was an example from one of the videos where a particular leader would normally, ask a lot of questions from the staff, from the subordinates, and for him, he needed the answers to make better decision. At least that was the way he saw his approach every now and then, right? But for the staff, it wasn't too pleasing to them because they had the sense of um, he doesn't trust us or trust our work, and of course that's a conflict right there. And so if you are more self-aware, understanding your emotions, understanding others, and how to relate, um, that takes um, that problem is solved. Um, at this point is where you're also asked to take some personality test. If that interests you, you can take personality test if that interests you. Know your personality, get to know yourself better. I would advise you do. You answer about a bunch of questions. I love the website's interface, quite easy to follow. And at the end of the day, it tells you your personality. It gives you an insight to what your personality is. So self-awareness, um, using a mode was the greatest challenge of motivating self. So stopping yourself from before, yeah. So I don't think there's much. And of course, I think the most funny part of this week was the professional etiquette and how to relate workplace culture, official and unofficial culture. So the official is the official would be the everything that you need. So formal and informal, what to do, and if you've been working for quite a while, these questions should be quite easy to get done with. And then lastly, there's the self-awareness, the peaks, which are your passion, your talks about your passion, your interest, the causes, and strength. Um, and then of course there's the end of module assessment, which doesn't really require you just needs to be sure that you've read all of the content um, here. So this is where you would then need to start filling all of your milestone documents and all. So in the next video, um, I'll then attempt to cover how to go about the milestone. So what I've done in this video in summary is to go through a summary of all of the work modules, all of the modules, right? What you need, what you don't need, and all of that. So the Google Workspace, because I had prior experience, this was sort of like a breeze for me. And I was done with this in, say, about 10-20 minutes, if not less, about 10 minutes. Like with everything here, I just kept on skipping the steps. The moment I find the topic, the subtopic, or I just go ahead and skip because there were things that I was already aware of. And so in this part also, you need to do like check your skills with Google and all of that. That's the archive, that's the spam, that's the delete, that's the select button. And it just tells you which one. So if you click on this arrow here, you can then change the subject. Um, yes. I think one of the things I experienced is if you try accessing these questions on the mobile device, you may not find these images. Right? I didn't have these images until I checked. I was doing my test, my end of week test, and then the question there was one sort of like a repetition of this, and he had the images. I was wondering, so I had to come back to check, and then I found out that all the images were there. So Um, so please do that, attempt that on um, and so that about wraps up everything for all of the modules, the expectation, and a quick summary of everything that's been covered in each of these modules. So in the next video, I'll cover how to go about your milestones, all of the documents you need, and then, of course, for you to submit. Again, as a recap, please make sure you click on mark as complete on every single module, every single document in each of the module 1.4. Click on mark as complete. When you're done with every quiz, also make sure you click on the done, because that's the only way it's going to keep reading your um average, calculating your average, and then you can see this 100% done, 100% done, 100% done. And there's one down here that says 0% done. This is, of course, like it says, there's just to give you an heads up for next week. So this isn't exactly part of what you're graded, and this will only appear when you have done, when you've submitted your milestone and all of that. So you see, um it explains it here. Let's build your milestone in preparation for milestone 2. All right. um Take a first shot at problem statement, right? So I'm yet to go through this, but I would, since I have plenty of time. You can see it's even part of week 2 and not week 1. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you can use this document to, run through and finish up with, if you have not done that so far. Please do well to watch the next video, where I would go through everything you need for the milestones. Cheers.